Stitches of love we weave so. In this online world we come to grow. Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, where hearts align. Let's embrace the craft and let our souls shine.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Weekend Project. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, and we're very happy to see you here today. We're going to make a project bag, but no binding. We're going to do a French seam on it. French seams are so easy to do, you'd be surprised if you haven't done one. We're going to learn how to do one today. So what I have here is I have two pieces of fabric. I have quilted both sides, the back and the front. You don't have to for project bags. That's totally up to you. I wanted to add my little special touch to it. I recently got an opportunity to meet some lovely ladies of our channel, and one was a bit of a surprise, so I didn't get a chance to make her something before I went. So I wanted to make her something that matched everybody else's that I made. So I'm making up this project bag for Pat, who I met in Vegas, and thank you very much for taking the time to visit with us. I really, really appreciate that, and you're so sweet and so cute. I could have hugged you all day. Actually, could have put you in my pocket, but you know, that's a whole other story, Pat. Okay, so I want to finish her project bag to match my project bag, to match Beluna's project bag, and Math Geek, and Allison, and Lois, and Tracy. So we all had this big adventure together. I want to kind of honor it, right, by making a memento. So I've taken my little bit, I have it like 21 by 22 approximately. Of course, when you do a project bag, it can be any size that you like. Make sure you have a zipper that comes close to the size that you need for the top, because we're going to do a little cut across the top here. If you happen to find that your zipper is just a little bit shy, what you can do is you can take a little bit of fabric, fold over the edge, place it on the zipper. Usually sometimes you do a little stitch across there, and then you can nip that metal part off, so you make sure you're never going to hit that with your needle. And then you can put another fabric right over top and there, and then that could fit right in your seam allowance and gives you a little bit of extra space. Like if you're maybe just like an inch or so shy on your project, you could do one on either side, and it still makes the project very usable. You just didn't maybe have a long enough zipper. Okay. All right, so what we need first do here, after I've done some beautiful embroidery on it, and then what I want to do is a little lop off the top part. I usually try to go about 1.5 inches to 2 inches, because we want to utilize the bag as much as possible, right? Okay, so let's do that. Let's move this over here. This one over there. And then we'll add our zipper. I'll make sure I'm on the line. It should be pretty even Steven here. Okay. Because I don't want to take about 2 inches off. 1, 2. Let's go 2.5. Okay. That's it. That's a nice size. And we'll make sure it's going off on the top. So nice even cut. Now we're going to take those two bits and we're going to come right back over to the mat. And we're going to line up our zipper to go just like that. Okay. And then we're going to stitch and then flip that. Okay. And then same on the top side is we'll stitch it there and then flip it up and do another stitch down. Okay. Let's do the top part first. Lay that right up there. Put that over there. You can use some clips or some pins, whatever makes you happy. Just going to put a nice big pin there, one at the top, one at the bottom. I recycle my long arm pins that you get a little dent in it sometimes. I recycle them for like bigger projects like this. So it's a nice put together. Okay. Now just with a normal stitch of 2.4, we're just going to stitch on down. Okay, and then when it comes to where the zipper head is, you just want to, I try to do a stitch a bit, and then I'll move the zipper head to right where I have already stitched, and then I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the, like trying to get the zipper on, okay? It's there we go. We're going to lift up the foot, take the zipper head right here, and we're just going to push it all the way out of our way, and we know it's not going to go off anything because we have a little bit of fabric on the end. I'm getting it there. Hold on, let's take a look. For some reason it feels like it was shifting. Oh no, we're there. We're good. For some reason I thought that was like really tiny. Okay. Now if you had a zipper foot, it would ride right against that. Right against that zipper side. I'm just using my walking foot. I pretty much use my walking foot all the time. Okay, that's the one side. Okay. And then we can just do a little press and then sew that straight down to tack it into place. Okay. Let's finish off the other part first, and then we can skip to the next so you know what you're doing. Okay, so here, put that right on there, line it up, okay, and then that comes flipped out. Make sure our, well, the logo's kind of, or the print is pretty much everywhere. So again, I'm going to unzip the zipper about halfway, just so I can see where I'm going and what I'm doing. Started there, and then I'm just going to line this up, put the edge to the edge here, hold it straight, and just feed on down. Take your time, get to breathe. And this is where I'm going to lift the foot, and then I'm going to pull the zipper head all the way to the front. Sometimes it's a little tricky to get past a certain point, but just be a little bit persistent and just kind of push, push, push. Use your thumb. You may even have to, you know, get some hemostats or something in there involved. Whatever you need. Put a little ribbon through the loop of the zipper, and that could help give you some leverage to help pull it forward. Try not to get my head in the way, but I also need to get in the right angle. Okay. And then we will just give this a little bit, oops, my iron went a little sad. Okay, and there we go. We got our zipper attached. We just need to press it, and then we'll just do a stitch down there, okay? And that'll seal that up all nice and pretty. And then here is our other side to our bag, okay? So let's do that. We'll give this a press. We're going to press away from the seam because we wouldn't want any of those like maybe stray threads or anything to get in there. So just do a little heat. Okay, and then on the other side. Kind of just using the very tip of the iron. And of course I don't want to melt the zipper. Then we can come back underneath the machine. Now if you want, we could do a little zigzag, but I think we'll just do a nice little straight stitch right on top there. Make sure we've got it laying flat. There we go. See if I can get it unshifted here. Could totally zigzag that too. Let's see how that looks from the front. Looks good. Okay, continue for the back. Let's just scoot this over. We just want to get those little bitty fibers not in the way of the zipper. So when we go to close it up, not having any issues. For a second, push our zipper head all the way. Okay. Now we take those two pieces that we've just, that looks awesome. Okay. now. We're going to make sure our backing is the correct way. So what we want to do, if it looks like a book, everything is facing towards us or the opposite direction, depending on how you're looking at things, then they should be good to go. So now what we want to do is we want to make sure this gets lined up here. And of course, we're going to have to trim just a smidgen off the bottom to allow for the zipper, okay? But once we do that, we're going to make sure our right sides are together. And then we're going to stitch all the way around really close to this edge. I do have 2 edges of this one done already. So let's go back over here. And we want to go close to the edge. Close to the raw edge, not 1/4 of an inch. We want to go like 1/8 of an inch. Just make sure we're putting those 2 pieces together, making them one. And then when we flip it right side out, so what's inside comes outside, then we're going to do like a little 1/2 inch stitch all the way around, and that's just going to close those seams, so you're never going to see them. You're never going to see a raw edge there. Okay, we're almost got halfway to the top there. To keep my zippers together in projects, I'll always do like a zigzag or straight stitch a few times, 4, 5, or 6 times, to make sure that when I'm moving my zipper back and forth while working on a project, I don't just go whip the head right off. I've had that happen and I've been so disappointed. I got into the habit of once I know where it's going to be, do a little stitch back on the front side and the back side. Just keep going right back and forth. Okay, now that's all the way around, stitched all the way around completely. We're going to open up our zipper. Always leave a bit of a gap so you can open it up. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to check that all these seams are secure. Oops, did I not continue all the top there? It looks like I left a small gap where I stopped and started. Of course I did. There we go. Okay, let's try that. Okay. Now we want to make sure that all of our fabric is together and we don't have any holes or gaps or anything like that, and that we have to go back over and check that seam. It's right down even into the corners. Go take a really good look. Poke your corners out, or if you round them, it's so much easier if you just kind of round your corners too. Don't have to fuss and muss about poking them out. Okay, I think we're good. Oh, no, see right there? There's a little hole right there. Let's go, let's pinch that. Take it back down under. It's just along the edge, which is okay. It's not a corner. Come back under here. Really close to the edge, but make sure you're enclosing everything. Okay, we're good there. Back. I noticed I did that on the one to myself, so I thought, oh, that was a good opportunity to fix it while I'm making up pads. So, and it's always nice to make a gift for someone you care about, and that they care about you too. Okay, so now we're going to flip that out. On the top. Give it good pokings. Okay. Like I said, double check all your seams, because the last thing you want to do is, as you're going around to seal it up, put the French seam on and you see a gap and you're like, ah, now I got to go back and fix that. Okay, so I think we're good. So if you want, you can just leave it like that, but we want to sew it so you don't see any of those raw seams on the inside. Okay, so you could put a nice little press on this to get you some nice edges to work with. And then we're going to sew all the way around. If this was a bit of a bigger project bag, I probably would have put a handle on the top of it. Or like maybe on the side or something. Just to make it easier to carry around. Are we good here? Yep, okay. Just Seemed like we were poking out a bit. Okay, so now at this point, you just want to come in about 1/2 inch and then just 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, because you've already sealed up and flipped over. So your whatever that little tiny seam was on the inside that you did is now like tucked right in between there. So you can come over, I don't know, I'd say between 1/4 and 1/2, and then just stitch all the way around, and that's going to seal everybody up. Okay. Put that right in the middle. Kind of like to start on a stretch, like a home stretch. So I'm gonna, normally 1/4 inch for me for sewing is like right in this spot right here where like the plastic and the metal kind of meet. It's like from the drop of the needle to this little spot right here is 1/4 inch. So I'm just kind of hopping over just a little smidgy more and just kind of riding it on the outside edge of where my walking foot is going to jump up and down. Okay, so we'll back stitch. And then that way you are making sure you are enclosing any of those raw edges. Okay, and at this point you just want to make sure everything's laying nice and flat. You get all your little fingers in there. If you have to get a stylist involved or something like that, that's fine too. And then always stop with the needle down, lift the foot, shift the project towards you. Okay, we could go down 1 or 2 more stitches. Okay, let's try that. I just want to make sure I'm again for proper placement of where that little foot on my walking foot is coming down. It's riding along the edge. So I keep a consistent seam allowance, top stitch seam allowance all the way around. Feel free to go slower if you like. I have just regular cotton or poly batting as my stabilizers or batting in my projects. That turned out good. Okay, and again, we want to make sure where it's laying with the zipper, where it's just kind of making it squishy flat. And make sure we're not using any metal zippers. We do not want to sew over any metal zippers. I'm going to do a little back tack on that one just to make sure it's not going to go nowheres. Yes, I had the most amazing time of my life. I don't think I've ever had so much fun. With a great group of people. I kind of wish everybody could have been there. And in a way, you were. Allison took us all along on her channel. Go check it out, Allison's Kitchen. Let's see all the shenanigans we got into. Okay, we're almost at the end. And that is a no binding project bag. Just a French seam. Perfect. And overlap where we started with the stitches. And that is that. Done. And I'm going to finish that off for Pat, and then we're good to go. And I can mail it off to her. And that'll be her project bag. Thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you soon.